Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are we feeling today? How are we doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? How long has it been? How many people even know about? I think a lot of you guys in chat seem to know. But how many people know about the Only Shinies account? Because that's what we're playing today. The Only Shinies account within PokeMMO. Now, this was a trend for a bit in the Pokemon YouTube community. Completing Pokemon, I think Small Ant started it, beating Pokemon with only shiny Pokemon, right? Difficult challenge when the rate is 1 out of 8,000 or so in the traditional games. Really tough. Now, what if the rate was 1 out of 30,000? What if it was 3 times as hard, if not harder? That's what the PokeMMO run is. 1 out of 30,000 being the rate. I will do a little copy pasta explaining the run. I actually have it over here on my YouTube explains. I'm going to read this and then I'll also post it in chat a bunch and we'll have a little link to it. So for those who don't know, let's explain the Only Shinies account. Only Shinies is an account that can only use shiny Pokemon. So to begin the game, I have to run back and forth at Route 1 since your starter is shiny locked within PokeMMO. I have 2 backup potions in case I find a shiny while at low HP. You get 1 potion from the market lady on Route 1, the lady who's like right over here. You get another from behind the tree in Viridian City. I do have 5 Pokeballs, which you get from delivering Oak's parcel at the beginning of the game. Now, if I fail to catch the shiny within 5 Pokeballs, which is unlikely, I'll be forced to restart from scratch. That's the general premise. Let's start hunting. Hey Pat, stupid question. Is there any way I can play PokeMMO on PSP? I love that you want to do that. I have no idea if that is possible or in rounds with the rules. I really don't know. I really hope so, because that would be, I have a bunch of Japanese PSPs. Man, that would be fun. If you find out, let me know, because I'd be down to try that. That's hilarious. Okay, the prediction is up on whether or not I will get a shiny today, but please keep in mind, my encounters per hour are very low. I think I get like maybe 100 encounters per hour. We should actually keep track. That'd be a cool thing to do. I think I maybe get 100 encounters per hour. Maybe a bit more than that. Well, we should test today for sure. People sometimes ask me what the best shiny I can catch here is, which is a good question. Generally, I usually say Sentret. Shiny Sentret / Furret would actually probably be the best thing here, because there are certain HMs you need to beat the storyline, right? I think you need the Strength HM to get through Victory Road. You need the Cut HM to get access to certain things. You don't need the Fly HM. Even though it's nice, you don't need it to beat the game. You don't need the Fly HM. You don't need the Flash HM. You can go through caves without it. You do need certain HMs. And Sentret learns a lot of those HMs that are needed to beat the game. I think maybe all of them. So Sentret would actually be... Shiny Sentret / Furret would hilariously be the best shiny here, but it's decently unlikely. I think it's nighttime only as well, or maybe it's some weird time thing. Are you allowed to damage the shiny with your non-shiny Pokemon? Fantastic question. Right now, my decision for that is no, which makes it a lot tougher to catch. However, I have said to myself that if I throw 4 Pokeballs and I don't catch the shiny, maybe even 3, I might change that rule on the fly, just because, you know, I want to be able to, if I throw all 5 Pokeballs and I miss the shiny, like, sucks. But I think my caveat will be I may allow my Charmander to damage and increase the odds of catching the shiny Pokemon if I reach like 3 or 4 Pokeballs thrown with no catch. It should be a fine catch. We'll see though. Your HP is low though. It's explained in the copy pasta. Like I said earlier, make sure to read the title and all the commands and all the resources at your disposal. Like, the funny thing is, if I have to start from scratch again, this is already Only Shinies 2. The reason being is my initial Only Shinies account, I lost all the recordings for it due to my hard drive fail. That happened a bit back. So I had to start from scratch to re-get those recordings and actually have the intro for the series. So I had to make a new account, started from scratch. I did transfer over my encounter counter, like, not that it really matters. Like, encounter counter is just for keeping track of mental numbers and stuff. It doesn't actually make a physical impact. A shiny never gets more likely to happen the more encounters you have. Like, keep all that in mind. It's always 1 to 30,000 roll, but we've made some serious, you know, quote unquote progress at almost 5,000 encounters on the account, which is pretty cool. The biggest thing on this account is just, like, once you're able to get 1 shiny, just 1, the game can at least begin, right? Like, as long as I can start the account That will be such a game changer. And it'll be cool to try to go for a sweet scent. There's certain strategies, like it'll be cool to try to go for a sweet scent shiny down the road to allow me to farm more shinies. Now, I don't want to have, you know, farm a bunch of shinies in this account, but I do kind of want to go for at least 3. I probably will make myself get at least 3 shinies or so to complete the game. I would like to go for 6 if possible, but that's a tougher thing. So I actually calced this earlier for a video, which I'm really excited to put out hopefully soonish, and it's a sponsored video. Shout out to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Have been awesome. Someone said Electric Storm is like 20k USD. It's actually more, which is more than double that, which is disgusting. E-Storm, Q-Hat, Desu Lab Coat, most expensive vanities, cost around 10 to 15 bill. Huge range. I know it's just hard to, you know, actually track prices on stuff like that. I calculated at 12.5, so right in the middle. And if you were to buy all of the RP vouchers, the you know, however many RP vouchers you need, I calculated earlier. I'll show it in the video as well. If you were to buy all of the RP vouchers, 1,000 RP vouchers, and sell them all for the current 2.4 million Pokeyen or so, it would end up costing you, to get all the Pokeyen, you would need 12.5 billion to buy them. It would cost you around a little over $50,000 US. If you were to buy all the RP via legitimate means in game, over $50,000 USD. So you could buy a Tesla, or you could buy an in-game hair color or haircut in PokeMMO. How cool is that? Don't believe if it says in the description. True. Are you beating just Kanto or all the other regions? Just Kanto for now, just one region. Great question. That is not answered in the copy pasta, so I appreciate that. That's a funny way to put it, Fake Cookie. The Tesla will lose value as soon as it gets off the lot, right? But the haircut that you buy in-game will appreciate value over time. Hilarious way to put it, but yeah, not wrong. It's an investment. What was your first shiny ever, not just PokeMMO? My first shiny Pokemon ever was a shiny Sandslash in Pokemon White 1. I specifically Masuda method bred for one. Dude, people forget like how insane Twitch Prime is. Like when Twitch Prime was introduced, there were streamers that like tripled or like 5 times their sub count, because like the amount of people that, like, you know, and I understand, don't want to pay $5 a month is super fair, but those who have Amazon Prime that watch that streamer all the time and, you know, don't mind throwing that up for free for them. Dude, back when Twitch Prime released, and Twitch Prime has been an insane thing ever since. Some of the best updates to Twitch ever have been like Twitch Prime and gifted subs. Gifted subs are one of the coolest things. It allows people to like sort of give back to the community, allows people to show off, have fun, like create like really festive environments, obviously giving. Dude, I think gifted subs is probably the best update to come to Twitch. That one's like super underrated. This is such a funny situation. Why does Earthquake fail against Electivire? I don't get it. I'm in Sinnoh at the 8th gym. How fucked is it that PokeMMO gym leaders will use Air Balloon? Like how messed up? Dude, I tell you this all the time. PokeMMO gym leaders and trainers are crazy. I've told stories about almost losing my Venusaur on my Nuzlocke due to a random fire gem flame wheeled Growlithe on the SSN. Like, there are some insane stories about crazy trainers and stuff. There's the story about how, like, there's certain trainers in the game that will lead with like a coughing or a Grimer and throw up like toxic spam, and then they'll come in later with a Weezing or a Muck and spam Venoshock, which does double the BP. It's like 120 base power if the opponent is like poisoned. Dude, that shit, there are some insane strats that trainers will run. Focus Sashes, Sturdies everywhere. It's tough, man. When I talk to new players, one of the things I hear about the most is how tough the storyline can be for a lot of people. Yeah, that's a great question. I also do not allow any donator status or shiny charm on this account. It has to be full odds, has to be fully self-sufficient. I know you're not progressing until a shiny, but why not allow yourself to go to other routes for quote-unquote better shinies? The main reason is because since your starter is shiny locked in PokeMMO, I only feel like it's fair that I should stick to Route 1 before being able to play the game. Like, obviously, I could technically go over to, like, the Mankey spot or, like, go up to, like, the north part. Can I even... I probably can't access that yet, can I? No, maybe I can. After Oats Parcel. I could go to... If I could go, like... The best spot for me to go to would actually be to be north of Viridian and go to, like, this little Oddish spot up to the north of it, which would be really, really good. But I don't want to allow that. I want to force myself to stick to Route 1 because I shouldn't be able to continue yet. I shouldn't be able to play the game until I get a shiny Pokemon. Since, you know, normally in a shiny only run, you'd have to soft reset for a starter, but they're shiny locked in PokeMMO, so that's the best route. This is a good question. If you had to choose between backseating chat and repetitive questions, dude, I take repetitive questions all day. All day. I mean, it depends. Like, so on my side channel, Retro Pat, right now, I get backseated a lot in the comments, but I don't mind that at all because I'm bad at the game. Like, I'm learning Dungeon Defenders. So the fact that I'm learning, I don't mind being back. I like to learn. But when people try to backseat me on PokeMMO, a game that I've played for 10 years, a game that I've over 7,000 hours in, people come in, have 200 hours in the game, think they know a lot about Pokemon because maybe they have 1,000 or 2,000 hours in Pokemon, but not in PokeMMO. They try to transfer their knowledge to the game, and it's not always a seamless transfer. That annoys the hell out of me. There is nothing that tilts me more in the world than people who are out of their depth trying to backseat and correct people at a higher education on a specific topic than them. It annoys the fuck out of me. I always say, imagine if a kindergartner walked up to a mathematics professor and said, hey, I think 2 + 2 is 5. And the professor was like, well, no, like, buddy, it's 4. And he was like, no, I think it's 5. And it's like, okay, like, what? Good one, dog. Like, what the fuck? Where do you go from there? There's nothing more frustrating than that. I'll take repetitive questions all day. When people ask repetitive questions, I said this earlier, they're not doing anything wrong, right? The first time a question is asked, when a question is asked 100 times, I see that question asked 100 times, and that can be a little frustrating. But the 100th person didn't see the other 99 times it was asked. And it's still a good question. Like, if it was a good question at ask number 1, it's still a good question at ask number 100. And it's not the chatter's fault, right? Like, it's a good question. And it's my responsibility to remain patient with that stuff. Now, if someone asks a question that should have just been Googled or could have easily been Googled to find a video of mine answering it, that frustrates me a little because I always tell people to use the resources at your disposal before asking others for their time and effort. Like, use your own time and effort before asking for others. That's a little frustrating. But obviously, you know, it's my job to answer questions as well. So try to keep that in mind. Hey, Mr. Streamer, I got 98 shinies in 2 seconds in Pokemon Scarlet. Why is it that yours is taking so long? I'm just not good enough, is the honest answer. What's the most common question you get? That's a good one. For a while, it was, when's Johto coming out? For sure, dude. When is Johto coming out? Nowadays, one of the most common is, when's the anniversary event coming out? I always have to respond, we don't really know. We have a guesstimate, but nobody knows. People ask you questions that, like, they know nobody knows the answer to, but they're kind of hoping that you have some sort of inside information. People do that. And, like, kind of know, but they want to, you know, just double check, I guess, which I kind of understand. Most common question I get. Another really common one, there's 2 really common ones. I mean, money making and Pokeyen questions. XP training and Pokeyen. So people ask, you know, I'm at 2 gym badges. I just started playing. How do I make Pokeyen? And it's like, dog, I've made so many beginner money making guides. Just Google. If you copy paste that question you put in Twitch chat, put it into Google, you will get your answer. Like, it's that simple. If you Google beginner money-making methods, PokeMMO, I have tons of videos covering it. I've done top 5 beginner methods. I've covered Magikarps. I've done making 1 million Pokeyen in 1 day from scratch within PokeMMO, from a new account. There's tons of things to do. And the other one is XP training. A lot of people ask, hey, I'm at the 4th gym badge or so, or 3rd gym badge, and I'm under leveled. How do I gain XP? And there's no good like, the answer is just run back and forth and kill Pokemon, dude. There's no crazy, like, secret tech to XP training until you've beaten the storyline. Like, if you spend a single hour, 1 hour, just running back and forth and killing Pokemon in a storyline run, single encounters, you'll be so, like, you'll be good on XP for the rest of the fucking storyline. If you fight trainers and you do the mandatory battles, like, XP shouldn't be that much of an issue. But people, like, skip trainers and they're like, hey, like, what do I do for XP? I'm, like, super behind. And it's like, dude, there's no secret. It's the same as traditional Pokemon. Like, you can unlock hordes later on, but you're not usually going to be able to do hordes in your first region. Now, I always say, once you beat your first region, XP training becomes tremendously easier for the future regions. Once you beat your first storyline region, you can always boat back to that first region. Go XP train your Pokemon up to the level cap. Be really careful not to overlevel them over the level cap. That's really important. Go level them up to the level cap and then boat back to the region. It saves you so much time being able to have access to level 100 Pokemon and being able to ×5 horde train stuff. You can't really do that at 4 gym badges. There are certain spots like mid game. I can think of to the left of Celadon and Kanto, there is a ×5 horde that's like Grimer and Raticate. They're like level 20 or something like that. There's not that many ×5 horde spots early to mid game. The whole point is that ×5 hordes is later game content because, or like later in the storyline, because imagine if you were, imagine you had a level 20 Raticate, right? Or let's say it's level 15. Let's say a level 15 Charmander, and you ran into a ×5 horde. Even if that horde is like level 10 Clefables or level whatever, you're getting destroyed. Like, you're not supposed to be running into huge hordes of Pokemon as a new player, which you can randomly do. With any sort of encounters where hordes exist. So hordes are a midder to later game content. Mid content, haha. Zoomer word. People kind of just had people want some sort of hack to XP train faster, and it's really just just run back and forth for an hour. It's not that hard, it's not that crazy. Don't make it too complicated. It's kind of like when people ask like, hey, like what kind of protein should I eat to like gain blah blah blah, and it's like, dog, for most people, just eat some fucking protein, move your body a little, you'll gain muscle. Yeah, there's more efficient ways to do it, but like, you don't need to worry about those hyper efficiency memes until you reach like that fucking top 1% anyway. So like, for a while, man, just do whatever works for you. Just eat some protein, work out, move your body. That's it, man. It's not that don't overcomplicate it when you're just getting started, you know? Did my first ever flip, 27k in profit on a 100k, but that's really good, man. Nice flip, dude. Getting your first flips going is such a satisfying feel. Like, you can really, man, congratulations, dude. That's awesome. Like, spending 100k or whatever to make 27k when you're starting out, that's really good. It's a solid first flip, dude. That's actually a really good question, Sauce Boss. What are your thoughts about breeding your first shiny to make it better, since it will no longer track where and when you caught it and make it look like an egg shiny from then on out? That's sort of the crux of breeding up your OT shinies. But if it's your OT, like if someone shows me an OT shiny Charizard and it's 6x31, I know for a fact that at one point they bred that, like they like hunted for that shiny and truly got it. So you know it's legit. They put more work and love into breeding it up. I do understand though, like the argument of like, do you want to lose that catch date and that catch time? I think it's what I'd recommend doing. I would record, man. Even if you don't stream, you don't, do YouTube, whatever, I would record. If you're shiny hunting, I would record. I think it's worth it. If your computer can handle it. I think always recording while you're shunting to log, or if you have some sort of like recapture feature. I know like certain graphics cards and certain programs can, like, if you press a button, it'll like capture the last 30 seconds. So you can like post capture that moment. I think recording is really nice and really important. And yeah, for sure, to be able to log that memory forever and preserve it, or just screenshots. Worst case scenario, screenshots. Did you pick Charmander because he is also bald? That's hilarious. No, I actually, so this is a great question. My first attempt on this challenge, I actually started Squirtle, and that was the dumbest mistake I could have made, because Squirtle actually has the slowest base stat speed, if I'm not mistaken, out of all 3 starters. So I picked the worst one possible. The only stat that matters in this strat is your speed of the starter, so it can run away from more Pokemon. Charmander has the highest base stat speed of 65, so you're actually able to run away from more Pokemon due to that. So Charmander is the objectively best pick for this challenge in Kanto. It's a great question. Why did you decide to start the challenge in Kanto? I wish I could say it was some like Giga Brain strategy reason, but honestly, it's just because it's the region I feel the most comfortable with and I've played the most. That's really it. This is an interesting question. How do real regions work? For example, I am from the EU. Will I only see EU players or everyone worldwide? You should see everyone worldwide. That's a great question. Like in terms of the game servers, right? Not the region, but the game servers. And like the channels and stuff. You should see everybody worldwide. You can like change chat things to like, if you don't want to see certain chats that you can't read or understand, I think you can adjust that. Like language, you can like turn off certain chat language you don't want to see them. But I keep everything on because it's better to see all the information. And sometimes maybe a Spanish speaking player is speaking in English, but they have that's like their region, so it still is like filtered into the chat, if that makes sense. It's good for trade chat to see everything as well. I like seeing all languages. I think it's better. Gives you more access to more players and a much wider range of trades and stuff to have access to. I just saw now, how dare you call Charmander useless? It's because he's not shiny, man. So therefore he is a useless Pokemon. All right, this should be around the 1 hour mark since I started shunting here. Because I started the stream, I did like a little bit of a 5 or 6 minute intro. I've been live for 1 hour and 14 minutes. So I've probably been shunting for a little over an hour. I would say I get around 150 encounters here, which is honestly better than I expected. But it makes sense. Like, I can't run. I don't have running shoes. I don't have a bike. Like, I don't have lures. Like, it makes sense that, yeah. Honestly, it's actually better than I expected. So 150 encounters per hour. That's not bad. I started at 4,800. Not bad at all. Have you ever thought about making a no GTL account similar to RuneScape Ironman? Yeah, absolutely. Not just no GTL, but like no trade. Like, yeah, I've absolutely thought about making an Ironman. I've thought about making an Ironman in PokeMMO. I've thought about making a Ultimate Ironman in PokeMMO. An Ultimate Ironman in PokeMMO would consist of you only have access to the 6 Pokemon in your party, and that's it. That would be the Ultimate Ironman of PokeMMO. Now I'd probably implement a clause to where I can like go to the PC. If I want to like switch something out, I could go to the PC and release something, you know, to allow myself to catch up. But that'd be an interesting one to like play through the game. Like not only just beating a campaign, beating a storyline with 6 Pokemon only is pretty easy, but what's more interesting is getting a gym rerun team, getting a catching Pokemon, like getting all of these things while holding to 6 Pokemon only. That's cool to me. That's really interesting in my opinion. That's very neat to me. Here is 5,000 encounters though, which is a pretty cool milestone for such a slow moving account. Go ahead and get Hoot Hoot as our number 5K. There it is. Bam. Did ability patches ever tank since Johto / Mount Silver release? Dude. Oh yeah. Weren't grass patches like 1 mil before Johto's release? I'm pretty sure. Now they're 215k. 215. What about waters were probably like, I think these were like 2 to 400k for water and fire. Now they're, yeah, all of the ability patches have, it's a new region. It's, you know, it's another ability patch to add to the game. This is an interesting question. Guesstimation on which event, Halloween, anniversary, Christmas, or New Year has the most participants? Oh man. It's like most like logins in general, or like most participants in that event specifically. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like people, so my logical deductions would be people don't get off school and don't get off work for Halloween. So maybe that's like Christmas might be one of them because everybody gets off for Christmas break. Like Christmas is a pretty huge one. Also pretty popular holiday, cool events, cool prizes. Anniversary is pretty big. The anniversary event was insane last year, but that also brought in alphas. Like the anniversary event was probably the most played event last year because it brought in alphas and stuff. But I don't know. Dude, I didn't realize logging into this account, I've had queues recently. If I log into an account without doing it, it's very short queues. But the fact that servers are full, the Halloween event is over. We're like a week past the end of the Halloween event and servers are still full. Talk about PokeMMO getting bigger and growing, dude. That's impressive as all hell. People are not talking about that enough. The game still has a small queue, which is it means the game has grown so much. But yeah, the most popular event, Lunar New Year, is also huge. You can't sleep on the Lunar New Year because the Chinese player base of PokeMMO is huge and they take the game really seriously. So you can't sleep on that, even if like, but I would also argue a lot of people are probably burnt out by that event, and like Americans may not care about that event as much because it's just not, you know, different cult, which is fine. I think like, what's the most popular? I think it might be Christmas. Christmas event might be one, but that's a tough one. I don't really know for sure. I'm just guessing, obviously. We don't know for sure. I think the game is probably at its peak right now. Yes. That's the thing that I've talked about before is like PokeMMO is still growing to its new peak 11 years later. There are so few games, so few video games that are peaking their player base and 11 years later. That almost never happens. Especially with MMOs. Like that almost never happens. That is truly an insane feat in gaming. Okay, a little update on MMO stats. Not the most popular or not the most accurate source in the world, and I've done videos covering it in the past explaining why. It's still something to consider, you know, it's some sort of numbers. MMO stats currently says that PokeMMO has an estimated 46,000 daily players. 46, almost 50k daily players. There should be a graph. I don't see the graph, unfortunately. I would have loved to see that. 2.8 million total players and is currently, where's the do? Let's go to popular. Let's see where it's at in terms of number ranking. Probably pretty high. I think before it was like 50 or 60 something. Not Pokemon Go. PokeMMO. 53. PokeMMO is currently ranked on MMO stats the 53rd most popular MMO in the whole world. This site also does include some weird games like Minecraft, like the PTCGO, not an MMO. I don't know why it's on the list. This site's weird, but it's something. It includes like Minecraft is the most popular, not really an MMO, but I don't know, whatever. Interesting though. It's something to look at. It's something like Rust. It's something to look at, which is kind of cool. I literally couldn't even tell you what the best Ditto strat is right now. Dude, people have been adapting. I've seen Vault Switch, Fortress, Dream Ball, crazy strats. Like, Ditto has been changing a ton recently with new mechanics being found, new teams, and then also like all the Pokeball changes from Johto being added. I genuinely do not know what the best Ditto hunting method is right now or what Pokeball to use. I'm sorry. If I were to go hunt Dittos right now, I'd probably just use Assist strat. That'd be like my go-to would still be Assist. But there might be something better. I don't know. I don't know what Pokeball I would use. Like probably Dreams plus repeats after catching 15 Dittos in a row or whatever. That'd be my guess. Do egg moves list as start moves in the Pokedex? Always kind of wondered that. They actually just list as egg moves. It's a good question. Let's see if I can show you on this account. So if you go to Charmander and scroll to the very bottom, you see egg. Here you go. Belly drum, bite. It's the very bottom. Dragon rush, wing attack. You can see all the egg moves that Charizard, the belly drum's an infamous one if you want to go physical. Yeah, that's the best way to check. Just scroll down to the very bottom. All right, that puts me at 5,200 encounters on the only Shinies account. So really, I went from, we did what, 400 encounters today? Solid progress. We went from 4,800 encounters up to 5,200 in around 3 hours. So not 150 encounters per hour, right? That's what I thought it was. It's probably closer to, what's 400 divided by? It's not quite 3 hours. I took like a 5-minute break and also got distracted a bit here and there. 400 divided by 3 hours or so. Around 130 encounters per hour. It might be around 150 at like peak efficiency. I could see that. Pretty solid rates, honestly. I'm pretty happy with that. But I do want to shake things up. I'm gonna head back over to the main account and play a little bit of that. And we'll see what things happen. What happens. What we do from there. I literally don't know what I want to do today on the main account is the weird question. Let's switch my encounter counter back over. So I just have different encounter counters per account. So there's my Patrouski one. Let's firstly collect my Pokeyen. I have some Pokeyen sitting in the GTL. We've got 441k right there, 66k right there, 20k there, 20k there. We've got a couple 20ks. Bam, bam, a lot of 20ks actually. Damn, a lot, even more. Bam. Okay, 27.8 million. We get like what, 800k there, something like that. That was pretty damn good. 20 odd Dino eggs and chill. I'm down to, honestly, I'm feeling EP, man. I'm tired. I'm down to just do some like really casual egging, like not on charm and stuff. Yeah, I'm actually super, let's get set up for that. I'm down. God damn it, Mythical Hunter. It sent me 3 pumpkin goodie bags instead of open. All right. If you send me stuff, I've got to open it. I guess that's only fair. Only 3, okay? 1, Hypercarbos. 2, Special Defense. 3, XP Charm. Bam. There goes 90k wasted. I guess honestly, the XP Charm does kind of pay. For, actually, not a profit. But I think I might have at least broke even. Nope. XP Charms are actually way cheaper than I expected. That's like lost like 40k. Rest in peace right there. Okay, what's the price on Alpha Male Field Day group right now? How much are they going for? 35 to 45k? Yeah, 40k. Do you want to do some like Shalfa mill tanks today? Not really, man. It's just they're so expensive. All right, we got our box prepared. We're on Ditto status. Let's go ahead and head over to the Unova daycare. This is hyper casual egg hunting. I don't really recommend doing this, but it can be a fun way to do long term. I'm just gonna be breeding some Pokemon, breeding 30 Pokemon, and then just hatching them casually right there, like right after, as opposed to making all of them on charm and then hatching them after. This is a lot more casual and just a way to hang out and kind of casually still work towards your goal, but you know, be able to relax a little because egg hunting can just be really intense. All right, there's all of the eggs made. Let's just casually chill out, relax, and hatch some eggs, see if we get something a little special. All right, no shiny in the first 5 eggs. Let's see the second. I've been seeing Ditto boxes for 230k in trade chat. You should, okay, I was about to say something mean. You should block and ignore and report those people. Those are the worst sub fucking scum humans on the planet. There is zero reason to be selling a Ditto box for more than like 200k at the moment. You can go on the GTL. So the way you understand how much a Ditto should be priced at right now, or at any time, is by going to the GTL, searching Ditto, searching cheapest price, seeing this, and then knocking money off of it. You should never. So a Ditto box is 60 Dittos, right? If you price those Dittos at like what, 4k a piece, 4k, I think it's 240k, right? This should only be happening. You should only be buying Dittos for this price if they're like 4,500 to 5k on the GTL. The entire point, the whole point that Ditto box trading is a thing is to benefit both the seller and the buyer. When you sell Ditto boxes via Ditto boxes, you don't have to pay the 1k Pokeyen per Ditto to sell them. When people sell Dittos for 3,500 on the GTL, they're actually only getting 2,500 per Ditto because the GTL listing. If you sell them for 3,500 in a Ditto box, you're making the full amount of money. It's a huge price difference. So as a Ditto box seller, you want to sell them for a fair price that mutually benefits the seller and the buyer. If you are a buyer and you're buying for more than what they are going for on the GTL, you are cucking yourself to the moon. Do not do this. It, like, nothing tilts me. It is basic market and economy understanding. Do not overbuy Ditto boxes. If someone wants to try to sell Ditto boxes for 240k, more power to them. Just don't buy them. Just let them rot in trade chat and never get any money. Holy God. So at this evaluation, not probably just buying up on the GTL. Ditto boxes, I think at 200k it's like 3333 per Ditto. So if we do 200k divided by 60, yeah, it's 333. This is a mostly fair. This is a fair price. You could even go lower. I think selling Ditto boxes for 180k to 200k right now is fair based on this price. If you're, yeah, it just makes no sense. Like at this point already, at 200k, the seller is already benefiting more than the buyer, right? Because you're saving, as the seller here, you're saving what, 300 Pokeyen? Or sorry, as the seller, you're saving 700 Pokeyen, and the buyer is saving 300. That's it. So you're already cucking the buyer at 200. Like even 200 is like, which is fine. I think mostly benefiting the seller is fine, but it has to be a good deal for both of you. There's no reason to make Ditto boxes only a good deal for one of you. It is so astronomically dumb. It is so dumb. Don't do that. Just know the basics of numbers. It's like basic math, and understand why Ditto boxes exist in the first place. Why do Ditto boxes exist? Ditto boxes exist because people need 30,000 Dittos per rare shiny. That's how I always explain it. Like if you're someone who wants a shiny Charizard, for one singular shiny Charizard to exist, a single one, on average, you have to consume 30,000 Dittos. And that just keeps Ditto prices, the demand for Dittos is so high, right? Because people need so many Dittos per one rare shiny. One shiny Eevee, 30,000 Dittos. One shiny Beldum, one shiny Metagross, you know? All those rare shinies that people love so very much, 30,000 Dittos consumed. Ploop, out of the, poofed into existence, out of existence. Should I be making my 2 IV Dienos modest or timid? I actually don't know. It just depends on what's more desired in the PvP metagame. I would just check. So go to PvP stats, OU, iDragon. Timid is used 48% of the time. Modest is used 37%. Honestly, that's like a pretty fair distribution. I'd probably make like slightly more timid. Let's say you're breeding 10 hydreigon's. I'd probably make like 6 to 7 of them timid, and then the other like 3 to 4 modest. It's good to like do both, because then you could like get the best deals on the market, as well as stuff will sell faster. Because some people may want a timid hydreigon for their speed tiers on their team. Some people may want a modest. It just depends on team compositions, I assume. All right, there's the last 5 eggs, I think. No casual shiny today, but that's okay. Just a fun little. We can add 30 encounters over to our encounter counter. So we'll be at 597, right? Which is kind of a good little meme. We'll take it. All right, for better or for worse, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here for today, fellas. I appreciate you guys watching. Quick little 4-hour stream today. Nothing too long, nothing too short. which is kind of crazy to say nowadays. A lot longer streams recently. Hopefully you guys haven't still enjoyed today's content, been maybe mildly entertained in the background, and if you were, make sure to leave a like on the video and on the stream to let me know. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow the Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's linked down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond, if my content is meant enough to you to warrant it, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo do help out a ton. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. I got you missed. Yo, Patrouski here. Firstly, thank you so much for watching till the very end of the video. I truly hope it was worth your time today. And secondly, thanks to everybody whose name is listed here. You guys all go above and beyond and allow me to make daily content. Thanks again. Have a great day.